This is my dog, Trusty. Like I said before in one of my previous recordings, um, we feed her primarily um, vegetarian diet, and like once a week we give her a can of sardine and a piece of beef. Okay, not necessarily because I believe that she needs to have that, but there are all kind of people who say you should give them some meat sometimes. But there are people that are vegans and they do not feed their dogs any kind of meat. But we give her a piece of beef once a week and a can of sardine. She's very healthy looking, very energetic. She runs around the yard all the time and plays and jumps and all of that kind of stuff. But some people tend to think she's too thin. And the thing is that Americans are some of the most obese and fattest people in the world. And we tend to overfeed our dogs just like we overfeed ourselves. I don't really see wild animals fat. They're usually muscular and healthy looking. And even dogs that are show dogs, I don't see them fat. Um, we feed our dog Trusty twice a day, breakfast in the morning, and in the evening we give her another meal. And she's healthy. She has no health issues. We do not give her worm medicine, worm drugs, because every drug has side effects. So what we give her to prevent worms, I put fennel seeds in her food a couple times a week, and I crush clove buds, and I put cloves in her food also a couple times a week. Also, I put apple cider vinegar in her food, the raw organic apple cider vinegar in her food a couple times a week. I put the oils, coconut oil, etc., in her food, and also she used to have, ticks and fleas. I guess because most dogs do, especially if they're outside, and she's outside a lot. We're always outside, so she's outside with us, running around and playing and frolicking. So I did some research, and there were recommendations to put raw garlic in the dog's food and to prevent ticks and fleas. And like I said, she had quite a few ticks and fleas. Actually, when we started putting apple cider vinegar in her food, and I also, when I bathe her once a month, I put apple cider vinegar in her bath, and we saw a significant decrease in the ticks. And after a while, she didn't have any ticks, but she had fleas. We always picking fleas off her. So I started giving her a clove of raw garlic in her food every day, and she has absolutely no fleas and no ticks. She has no worms. We examine her poop. She has no worms. We don't use flea collar. We don't give her flea drugs or ticks drugs, and we don't give her anything for worms, and she has absolutely no worms. Her fur is beautiful and glowing, okay, and very healthy, vibrant, active dog. And yes, she is not fat and she's not overweight because we feed her healthy and keep her very active. So just like us, our dogs need to eat healthy so that they do not get sick. And many animals nowadays are getting cancer and diabetes. It's the kind of diseases that humans get. And I think it has a lot to do with these processed foods that people are feeding their dogs and also overfeeding them. They're not active, and just the wrong kind of diet. And I wanted to show you a recent picture of my healthy, beautiful dog, or vegan dog, essentially. Because like I said, she gets a piece of beef with a big bone that she can work on all day, once a week, and then we also give her a can of sardine. Other than that, it's carrots grated, and beetroot grated, chopped celery, chopped parsley, brown rice, Beans and peas every day in her food. Sweet potato, I either cook the sweet potato or I chop it up or grate it and give it to her raw. The squashes, anything that's healthy. Fruits. This morning, we gave her grapes. You know, we give her treats when we're training her, and we gave her grapes and any fruit, grapes, apples. We cut them really small and give it to her, and she eats all of that stuff. She'll eat healthy stuff, not just meat and not just junk. We don't give her any junk. So look at my healthy dog. I want her to be healthy so we don't have to spend money on veterinary bills, that kind of thing. Right now, she just saw our cat, so she's getting all excited about that. They're not quite buddies yet. All right, so feed your animals healthy, and you will have healthy animals who will live very long, and cost you less in medical bills, and hopefully won't end up with cancer and diabetes like many dogs are now. Dogs are even having thyroid problems now because of lack of activity and poor nutrition, because the food that they sell in the supermarket is processed and sitting on the shelf for years. How can that be good for our animals? It's not good for us, not good for our animals. It's not good for us to be overweight, and it certainly isn't good for our animals to be overweight. Okay? Take care. God bless you till we meet again.